Hello, guys, and yes, today we're gonna be talking about a brand new series. Today we're gonna be talking about Hollow's Heart. It's essentially a Bleach slash My Hero Academia slash Monsters Encyclopedia. What if? Yes, you heard me right. Monsters Encyclopedia, or Monster Girl Encyclopedia to be more specific. Oh boy, let's start, shall we, ladies and gents? So, we would start our story with a certain little boy, aka Izuku Midoriya, as he's currently being bullied. More specifically, he was in the cafeteria as we would currently see him being bullied by a blonde haired girl with raccoons. In this day and age, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, or more specifically, just as long as you have power, you're always in charge. You're always favored than the weak. And in this case, this universe was a bit special. In this universe, women are born with something known as a quirk. Those with quirks will gain superhuman abilities, like, for example, creating explosions from their hands, or, for say, turning into an animal. As when this blonde haired girl was done pouring the milk on his head, she would say, "Oh, oh, oh, poor Deku," she would say. "So how was that?" she would say, as she would basically kick him right in the face, causing Izuku to be launched into the ground. As nearby, a girl similar to Izuku would say, "Seriously, Bakugo. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of bored. Let's just hurry up. My youngest brother is already annoying us enough. Let's get ready for UA," she would say. As the girl right beside her would say, "You're right, Izumi. Let's go," she would say. As after that, both of them would start leaving. The other students would just ignore him. Currently, the boy, Izuku Midoriya, was crying, saying, I I just wanted to help," he would say. For all his life, he always wanted to become a hero, but because he was born a boy, let's just say his circumstances were pretty unlucky, to say the least. Nobody liked him. Well, except for mostly the boys, considering that he is one. Most of the time, people would think that he's delusional, thinking that he can become a hero without a quirk. Or in this case, a heroine? But either way, as while Izuku was getting back home after the beating and bullying, he would see his mother, as Izumi and the other girl now named Bakugo, or Katsumi, as they're currently talking to each other. As while this was happening, Izuku would basically go to his room and would just stay quiet, not talking to anybody. When he got to his room, it was pretty simple. A bed with no bed frame. In fact, it's just a mattress on the floor. He would also have barely anything to basically, to just put anywhere. In fact, it's just basically just an empty room besides the mattress. And just a broken, disgusting pillow. And a torn up blanket with multiple holes. His mother basically favored Izumi the most. She honestly just hated him. Even though they were basically born at the same time. Because he was born a boy, let's just say she favored Izumi more. Currently, Izuku was basically on his bed, as you'd say. "Why does life have to be like this?" he would say to himself. "All I just wanted was to help people," he would say to himself. As while Ezekiel was saying this to himself, something would come out of nowhere as a creature would look towards his window. Ezekiel would not notice because this creature is not of this world. The creature near the door of the balcony would be some sort of creature that resembled that of some sort of bug, or in a way, some sort of six-legged creature with several red-looking tentacles. But the most prominent part was the mask, or should I say its face, as it would have sharp, not really sharp teeth, but more like, almost, you know, crushing bite-like teeth with flaming sockets for eyes. As the creature would be looking at the kid, as the creature would tilt its head, feeling so much anger, rage, sorrow, and sadness coming from the boy, as the creature would linger there, watching him. Now, as it was morning, we would currently see our boy Izuku as he would decide to leave by the balcony, basically jumping off, and he would basically leave out the door like that. The reason why is because every time when his mother would basically look at him or see him, she would look in disgust and not give him any food. In fact, she doesn't even give him anything at all. Even during his birthdays, well, technically it's both him and his sister Izumi's birthday, considering that they're twins. But considering what he is, you can probably guess what he usually gets. So he usually lives alone, or at least stays or prefers to be alone, and would rather just not deal with anyone. As when Izuku arrived at the convenience store, he would order just some simple stuff, as while he was eating, he would see his middle school bullies. More specifically, some of the random students that basically joined up with Bakugo, as Bakugo herself were basically talking to them. Izuku saw this as he would try to get out of the area, but unfortunately it was already too late. As one of the girls would basically grab him by his shoulder as she would say, "Hey there, Greenie," she would say. As one of them would say, "Hey look, Bakugo, you have Deku over here." As after saying that, Izuku would look back and would see Bakugo. Bakugo would have a sadistic smile on her face as she would say, "Oh, hello there, Deku," she would say. As Izuku would say, "Hey, I'm not looking for trouble," or as she would say, "Oh, don't worry. I just want to have a bit of a talk," she would say. After saying this, she would basically grab Izuku by the hair as she would basically, bring him to a nearby area, specifically a dark alleyway. As she would say, "Hey, Deku, can you please give us some cash?" she would say. As Izuku would say, "But it's my money. I earned it by my..." As she would say, "Do you think that it was a request?" As after saying that, she would start beating on him, even using her quirk to create mini explosions, which in contact would basically burn his skin. As while this was happening, two of her goons would restrain him while he keeps getting beaten and beaten and beaten. As when she was about to, stop, she got distracted as she would do a final blow, causing a really large explosion that destroyed his chest. Doing so, his heart stops. When this happened, Bakugo would basically be in shock, as the two goons would say, um, Bakugo, what did you... As Bakugo would say, hey, it's not like... Please don't tell me. As Bakugo would try to, grab onto Izuku, as she would try to, hear his heartbeat. It's there, but it's slow. Really, really slow. As when Bakugo heard it, she would say to herself, shit, 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 shit. As after saying that, she would start, grabbing onto Izuku, basically carrying him Bible style, as she would start, bringing him to a hospital. When she got there, the doctors would take him and try to, at least get him back to his full self. But unfortunately, it was already too late. When Bakugo was told to go into the area, or more specifically into the doctor's office, the doctor would say, "So you found him in a broken alleyway?" As she would say, "Yeah. Is he okay? Is he..." As she would say this, "Sorry, but unfortunately, he passed away. I'm sorry, miss, for your friend." Hearing this, her heart sank as she would think, What did I... What did I... As after saying that to herself, as she would start panicking, thinking, no, I can't be a heroine. Wait, no. If I... Wait... Fake a lie. I'll say it was a villain. Yeah. As after saying that, she would be given, less, attention. Or more specifically, no suspicions of her actually killing him. But unfortunately, the two people that were with her were, completely guilt-ridden. When Izumi heard of this, she was nonchalant, saying, it was his fault. And for Inko, she thought, wait, he's dead? As while she thought of it, she never really took care of her son all that much. She mostly took care of his sister. In fact, she never even known her son all that much, to the point of not even thinking of his favorite things. But she mostly ignored it, thinking, it doesn't matter. He was a boy. Boys are weak. So, as when they did the funeral, or at least somewhat a funeral, the only person that actually came was actually Mitsuki, Uncle's best friend, as she would cry for Izuku's death, thinking that he was the nicest kid ever. And so after that, she would basically, tell the two people there to basically bury his body. After that, after the funeral was over, Mitsuki would leave. But, unfortunately, his soul was restless. As we would currently see a now different Izuku, to say the least. Izuku now had some sort of chain connected to where his heart used to be, as he now has a weird looking eye, to say the least. It's almost darkish. As Izuku would say this to himself, it's their fault. They should have suffered instead of me. Saying this, the chain would start to corrode, almost turning black, and as he would start to separate from this hole. Doing so, Izuku would start forming some sort of weird mask around himself. as his mask would fully overtake him. And so this is where we're going to be ending off this first episode of Hollow's Heart. So yeah, bye bye.